It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. In welcoming all of you to this very important event that's going to change the way we see the world, or we make the older people see the world. In fact, this is not the first equipment of this kind in this city or in this country, but this is the first time a diagnostic company that is more interested in preventive health checkup is putting such a facility, so that the patient with diabetes will not really wait for their symptoms to appear first and then go to an ophthalmologist. We are going to catch them very early, even say after. In fact, the NHS says that even 12-year-old kid with the diabetes must be screened for diabetic retinopathy. And of course, let me just brief about the Indo-British relations. Indo-British relationships are more than 600 years old. And we have to thank British for opening so many primary schools and secondary schools, and also so many mission hospitals. In fact, the Indian Railway was started by the British. And another great association between Britain and India is, of course, cricket. I think all of us know about over. Then the other great collaboration between the two countries in medical education. UK and the Great Britain has always led the world in medical education with so many royal colleges, the Royal College of Surgeons, the Royal College of Physicians, Royal College of Physicians, Royal College of Radiologists, Royal College of Ophthalmologists. And in return, more than 27% of the doctors working in the National Health Service are Indian doctors. We are proud to say that, in fact, the British Royal College of General Practitioners launched a new exhibition to pay tribute to the Indian doctors who were the very lifeblood of the National Health Service and were amongst its architects. In fact, whenever a medical college a student joins a medical college, ask him what is his dream. He would like to say, I would like to go to England and study either FRCS or FRCP, or if his lady, probably she will say, I want to do FRCUG or MRCUG. That is such a strong bond between Great Britain and India in the medical education. In fact, one of our staff members, Dr. Royal Lawrence, is an approved teacher for FRCUG, and one of our members is pathologist member of the Royal College of Pathologists. And when looking at the medical equipments in my laboratory and also around the country, I was so surprised that there are not many medical equipments manufactured in UK. Probably, I think that UK missed the manufacturing opportunity in medical equipment. Most of the medical equipments come from Japan, Germany, USA, France, Sweden, South Korea, and now China. But recently, in artificial intelligence and in digital pathology services, UK has taken a great leap. In fact, the Leeds University's pathology department can be considered as the mecca of digital pathology. And how this Hitech Visulytix collaboration came about? Edna De Souza and Ashwin of the British Eye Commission approached me about 4 months back, and we had a long discussion with them, and also Mr. Michael Scaffey, the commercial manager of Visulytix. And then we found that it's a techno-commercially viable, cost-effective, fast solution for blindness causing conditions. We have put in a lot of thought before really entering into this collaboration with them. We are quite expensive. We have invested about 10 million rupees in these two equipments, and this is the first time, as I said, a private laboratory is venturing into this. But we are very sure that, as Tirunelveli said, we are so sure that, and we are so committed that we will be able to deliver this service to the needy people on time. So we are very sure that because of our strength in our thinking, we will definitely succeed in this endeavor. And when coming to His Excellency Jeremy Pilmore Bedford, he has succeeded Bharat Joshi in October 2018, and he has already served in other South Asian countries, Russia and Qatar. And his talks on communal harmony is well known. Recently, in a function organized by Arcad Nawab, he has very clearly mentioned that communal harmony and unity must be the response to fundamentalism and intolerance. And in developing Indo-British relations, he has clearly told that his immediate priorities will be to encourage partners from Tamil Nadu and Kerala with expertise in AI, that's artificial intelligence, data, future mobility, fintech, cybersecurity, to actively participate in our Future Tech Festival in Delhi in December. And there are a lot of Indo-British collaborations that I am so glad that Mr. Pilmore has offered. A lot of collaborations between between Great Britain and Tamil Nadu in electric vehicles. In fact, 31% of the investments by Indian companies in UK are in technology, like JLR and Cobas. And in fact, the Indian companies have created more than 30,000 jobs in Great Britain, mainly JLR and Cobas. Of course, Mr. Pilmore has promised about collaboration in electric vehicles between Tamil Nadu and UK, and I am extremely glad to welcome you, sir. I am very sure that with your presence, the relationship between India and Great Britain, particularly the southern part of India, will flourish. Dr. S. Karsanadan, a very good friend of mine, is a graduate of medicine from Annamala University. He did D&B Ophthalmology from Madras Medical College, and he has 11 years of wonderful experience as a vitreoretinal surgeon in Shankar. He is a fellow of Royal College of Surgeons in Ophthalmology from Glaxo, and he is also an FRC's examiner. And he is a consultant to the Health Minister of Papua New Guinea, and he has recently opened a hospital called Clarity Hitech. I welcome you, Dr. Karsanadan. Senthil is a B.Tech background graduate, interested in strategic planning and reverse innovation, and he thinks that he can learn AI by watching science fiction movies of the Hollywood. I welcome Senthil. Again, I welcome all of you to this wonderful evening. I am quite sure this evening will make a change in the Indo-British collaboration, and also will make a change to the diabetic patients and the patients who suffer from blindness-causing diseases in the developing countries. Thank you so much.
Good evening to the distinguished guests, the panel, members of the medical fraternity in the audience, well-wishers and friends in the media. Thank you also to Dr. Ganesan for his kind remarks about the United Kingdom and the long links between the medical profession in the UK and that here in India. And in fact, it reminded me of just how important the Indian community is to the National Health Service. When I was back in the UK for a couple of months between leaving the United States, where I was previously posted, and coming here to Chennai, I had my eyes tested, and my optician, of course, was from India. I went to my dentist to have my teeth checked, and of course my dentist is from India as well. And finally I went to my GP to have my health checked, and of course she's from Chennai. So it just shows how vital India and Indians are to our National Health Service. However, Dr. Ganesan, I will just take issue a little bit with your comments about British medical equipment producers, because only a couple of months ago we had one of the world's largest medical equipment producers, Smith & Nephew, which is, as well as a medical device company, is also a medical equipment company, talk to a range of hospitals here in Chennai about some of their latest equipment. So the UK does do medical equipment and does it very well as well. But anyway, it gives me great pleasure in being here at this healthcare event to showcase the UK's strengths and India's capabilities to expand and adapt to new innovations and demands. The UK has developed some of the most innovative healthcare services and systems in the world over nearly 7 decades with a National Health Service. And the UK is also at the forefront of transforming healthcare services by using digital solutions to prevent and manage chronic illnesses more effectively and motivate patients to participate in their own long-term care. The UK's National Health Service is considered to be the best integrated healthcare system in the world. And the UK has also leveraged its unmatched data assets, world-leading centres of clinical excellence, and vibrant tech sector to produce some of the most innovative, evidence-based digital health solutions around today. With an unmatched combination of clinical, technological, and academic expertise, we feel ideally placed in the UK to play a significant role in working with you in the transformation of healthcare here in India. As we saw in some of the presentations today, A new wave of solutions is set to revolutionise the way that healthcare is delivered. Software, in the form of apps or cloud-based systems, is capable of diagnosing a range of conditions, from general illnesses based on symptoms provided by patients, to cancer diagnosis based on tumour scans, to cardiac diagnosis based on ECGs, as well as eye disease diagnosed based on retinal scans. There are specific reasons why the UK could become a strong partner by using AI in healthcare. In institutions like Oxford University, Imperial, UCL, and the Alan Turing Institute, the UK has some of the leading academic centres for health AI in the world. And in the NHS, it of course has one of the largest and most uniform clinical data sets in the world. It is little wonder that the NHS hospitals have become some of the test beds for a huge range of AI technologies. The global giants like Google, as we heard in the last presentation, and their deep mind to high-profile and their deep mind technology to high-profile startups like Freebis. The India-UK Healthcare AI Catalyst, or HAIC, came out of the Prime Minister Modi's visit to the UK in April of last year. Prime Ministers Modi and May both agreed then that health AI should be the focused area for future cooperation, and the UK's Department for International Trade subsequently agreed to invest £1 million in a pilot programme in partnership with NITI Aayog. The HAIC will fund some of the top UK health AI companies to come to India and deploy their solutions in government hospitals and primary healthcare centres. The first 3 companies selected will begin work in March of this year, with a further wave of around 10 companies later in this year. These companies will principally focus on diagnostic AI. The HAIC will also look to support the development of health AI ecosystems in India, linking up India and UK health AI companies with mutual areas of interest, offering advice for Indian companies looking to deploy the NHS, and supporting the design of a strong governance framework for operational use. One such innovative company that is shortlisted by NITI Aayog for the pilot study is, of course, Visulytix, that we just heard about. This, as we learnt, is an AI-based ophthalmology solution provider based out of the UK in collaboration with Cardiff University and Harvard Medical School. It has more than 18 AI scientists, and 3 of them, including the CEO, are from India. It also has a specific resolution called Pegasus for glaucoma, diabetic retinopathy, and macular degeneration related disorders. Visulytix has come to India on one of our healthcare missions, during which our DIT team approached Dr. Ganesan about this unique company. And of course, 6 months down the lane, Hitech Labs, in consultation with Visulytix, has installed the necessary ophthalmic equipment that can capture pictures of funds and macula and upload them to Visulytix. The pictures will be interpreted by the Pegasus AI system and returned in a matter of a few seconds. This way, the patient waiting time will be considerably reduced, analysis of the picture will be more accurate, and whenever possible, early intervention can be initiated. Visulytix has agreed to a scaling price model so that the Indian patients get enormous savings in costs. Hitech Labs has installed the system in 2 of its branches at T Nagar and in Millers Road, Kilmarnock. Patients from our other 70 centres will be directed to these centres initially. In future, they plan to have this facility in more centres. And in about 6 months' time, they are estimating that more than 10,000 patients will be using the services of Visulytix through Hitech Labs Diagnostic Centre. So I'd like to finish my speech by wishing both the organisations all the very best in their endeavours, and I'm sure that this is just the very beginning of bigger things to come, not only between these 2 aspiring companies, but also between the UK and India in AI and healthcare. Thank you very much indeed.
Signals may be misinterpreted. So this is what happens in a macular degeneration. So every day-to-day function becomes affected because of macular degeneration. This is an AMSLET. Next one. This is a home monitoring chart. Most of the ophthalmologists would look to their patients above 60. This is a checker chart which is available with it's a home screening. You can do yourself with your glasses on, And if you see any distortions in these lines, it means you have a macular problem. You need to go to the ophthalmologist. This is available on the net also, but it's available with all the ophthalmologists. Next one. And to conclude, dry macular degeneration's identification of the risk group is very important. So dietary supplementation, avoidance of risk factors like smoking, and follow-up with the home apps and charting. And when it comes to wet macular degeneration, identifying these patients is the key, because wet can be treated and you need to give intravitreal injections. Catching them at the early part of the disease, we can save a protective vision for them. So monitor your vision daily with the Amsler chart. Take an antioxidant above 60 years. Incorporate a lot of dark leafy vegetables into your diet. And always use protective goggles for UV protection. Quit smoking and keep exercising regularly. These are the tips to keep yourself young. And early detection, referral and treatment of CNV is essential part to prevent the vision loss. And we don't want this, but we want this to happen. Next one. And we don't want this, and as an ophthalmologist, we will try to prevent with the collaboration with all the diagnostic labs to maintain the vision to this level. Thank you.
Pleasure of listening to Dr. S. Kasinathan, Senior
அனைவருக்கும் வணக்கம். இன்று ஒரு மிகச்சிறந்த நாள். இந்தியா கிரேட் பிரிட்டனும் சேர்ந்து கண் பார்வை, சர்க்கரை நோய், வயதாதல் போன்ற கண் பார்வை குறைவதற்கான நோய்களை கண்டறிவதற்கான ஒரு ஆர்டிஃபிஷியல் இன்டெலிஜென்ஸ் பேஸ் சிஸ்டம் உருவாக்கி இருக்கின்றோம். இதை யூகேயை சேர்ந்த Visulytix என்ற கம்பெனியும் சென்னையை சேர்ந்த ஹைடெக் டைனஸ்டிக் சென்டரும் இணைந்து இந்த டயபெட்டிக் ரெட்டினோபதி, மேக்குலர் டிஜெனரேஷன் போன்ற கண் பார்வையை குறைய செய்யும் அல்லது மங்கச் செய்யும் நோய்களுக்கான மிகச்சிறந்த பரிசோதனைகள் செய்யவிருக்கின்றோம். இது ஆர்டிஃபிஷியல் இன்டெலிஜென்ஸ் மூலம் செயல்படுவதால் இதனுடைய முடிவுகள் மிகச் சிறப்பானதாகவும் சரியானதாகவும் விரைவானதாகவும் இருக்கும். இது அனைத்து மக்களுக்கும் பயன்பட வேண்டும் என்றால் மிக குறைந்த விலையில் இதை வழங்கவிருக்கின்றோம். இதற்கு உங்களுக்கு உறுதுணையாக இருக்கும் பிரிட்டிஷ் டெப்டி ஹை கமிஷனர் மிஸ்டர் ஜெர்மி பில்மோர் அவர்களுக்கு என்னுடைய மிக்க